Welcome back, everybody. Another take a break with Mr. Stephen Shamus. New format, round two. Let's see what happens.
Siskel and Ebert, Shamus and Ray.
Shamus and Ray. Yep. Yeah.
At the
Two
movies?
thumbs up.
At the movies.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got today, Alex?
Back to like some random stuff, which is great. I love these random days. We're gonna talk a little OMAC, a little Jack Kirby.
Brother, I bring the rain. You should have given peace a chance. OMAC, no.
We're gonna talk Deadman. We're going to talk Tigra, which I'm surprised we haven't talked about.
Hey, Hawkeye, I wanted a real workout.
And we're going to talk Mon Mothma.
Well, that's a cute jumper.
You should know that my adorable grandma Debusa paid for this get-up.
Well, she probably thinks you're gonna knock her off for her money. But I'm pretty sure you could just take it.
I'm a wrestler, not a cuckoo head.
Yeah, you haven't paid me for that puppy yet.
FYI, all you single guys, my emotional state really isn't the greatest.
Star Wars, and I'm wearing my Rebels shirt that was in the first episode of Ahsoka, and I bought the shirt before that movie came out, so now it's probably worth something, and I've been wearing it, so sweating in it. Never be able to sell it.
All right. What do we got? By the way, it's just funny. Like, again, our job is really just to kind of report on where we're seeing things ticking up and where prices are being established. So it is always interesting to me, like where this stuff is coming from. So let's start with the first one, Alex. It's OMAC, right?
Yeah, OMAC. We're going to talk Jack Kirby, one of his last creations before he left DC again, before he came back, and after New Gods got canceled. Kind of a neat one, but not a popular. OMAC, Commandy went for a lot longer, but probably OMAC's one of the ones that not as popular as the other ones. This is a futuristic tale where there is a corporation with a brother eye that's in the sky, kind of your Terminator, optics, and this computer satellite turns this corporate nobody Buddy Blink into a one-man army corps, strength and stuff like that. And it's a future issue, and it's like the government and robots and stuff like that. So very futuristic, very weird for the time, but also again with the Kirby collectors and just being like, this wasn't a book that was highly coveted at all. Like, I remember getting OMACs all the time. People cared, they bought them, but they weren't worth a lot of money, and people weren't knocking down the door. But I think what you're seeing is you're just understanding, like, even though it was later in Jack Kirby's life and it's not Silver Surfer #1, or Fantastic Four, these are still great books with great art, and the covers are phenomenal.
Right.
So it was just about time for this to be kind of reinvigorated and collectors to see that, like, oh, there is some nice copies out there. I need to get them pressed and slabbed. Right.
All right. So OMAC #1, September to October 1974, 182 9.8s for a 1974 book. That's pretty decent. $350 to $400. Jack Kirby story. Jack Kirby and Mike Roy cover and art. Origin and first appearance of OMAC atomic explosion panel. I don't know what that means, actually, but okay. All right, what do we got next? This is an interesting one, Alex.
Yeah, Deadman. Love me some Boston Brand.
Yeah, these are selling. I know they're from the late 60s, but these books are starting to sell for a lot of money. Who's Deadman?
Deadman, this is a character that's kind of floated through the DC universe, and I want to say he was in some other media stuff, nothing big, maybe cartoons for sure, maybe he was in Arrow, but Boston Brand, who is a trapeze artist, a la Dick Grayson, falls to his death and kind of gets reincarnated, and it gets a little weird there, because it's there's Vishnu, who's a god, and he's reincarnated to find his killer, and he does, and he can leap into other people's bodies for a little while and talk and use their bodies for stuff. One of those kind of, a quantum leap is probably the best way to explain it of what Deadman does. So yeah, exactly, right. But also a character that's been around forever. Big Neil Adams book. I mean, he did a lot of the art, and he used the character. And if you're a DC fan, Brightest Day, he was big in that. I'm trying to think of other stuff, but he's just kind of been around the DC universe, and he just pops up in the back all the time. And I'm a fan. I like Deadman. He's fun.
Yeah, these books are ticking up. So Strange Adventures number 205, October of 67. Again, low pop, 2 9.6s, 16 9.4s, 24 9.2s, and 40 9.0s. It's $1,100 and an 8.0. Origin of first appearance of Deadman, Boston brand, Carmen Infantino and George Russo cover and art. Then Strange Adventures number 206, the second issue, November 1967. Again, very low pop, 1 9.6, 4 9.4s. It's about a $200 book in 8.0. Second appearance of Deadman. It's a Neil Adams art beginning in that issue. So that one is also very, very popular. And then the last one to take a look at is the third appearance, Strange Adventures number 207, December of 67. Again, very low pop, 3 9.8s, 9 9.6s, 17 9.4s. It's about a $400 book in 9.2. Carmen Infantino and Jack Miller story, Neil Adams cover and art. These are starting to tick up, these Deadman books. All right, cool. All right, Alex's pick of the week. What do you got for us in the movie theater, Alex?
I want to talk. Last week we talked about original comic art, and I also want to kind of bring up something that we talked about a little while ago during kind of lockdown and where we were what the trends were. But I want to talk about like trading cards and where the industry is. I mean, it's definitely cooled off. It's not as crazy as it was I would say about a year ago. But you're seeing the trends too. I in the past, when something like this gets really big and then dies down, you see a glut of cards, and I just don't see that like it used to be. I don't see like box, you go to Target and it's still empty. The shelves are still empty. Sports cards, new football season just started, new rookies. Baseball cards are still kind of not easy to find. They're not as people aren't camping out as they used to, but I don't think that these companies like Topps, I don't think they flooded the market. I think they might have learned and knew that like they're hot right now and they're going to print some cards, but I just don't see, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you see more, but like the Star Wars cards, boxes still sell for $200 and they're still sold out, and you still have to find them on eBay after a little while and they start going higher. Like the card market, I want to say is smart, where they didn't do what they did in the 80s and 90s and just like print so many cards that they weren't worth anything. So I mean, do you see the same thing? It's like,
yeah, they're definitely not printing the quantities they used to. For sure. So they're being much more cautious about the stuff that they're doing. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we got next, Alex?
Tigra.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't talk about this before. So who's Tigra? And these books are definitely ticking up. By the way, if you notice, it's actually all the creature stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually could have picked out about 6 or 7 different creature books, and maybe we'll get to some of them.
Yeah.
But all the creature stuff is creeping up. We're seeing it with the horror films more and more. I think they're going to colorize Moon Knight for Halloween this year.
Yeah.
So all the creature stuff is moving.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're looking at a speculative market, you see what Marvel's been doing in the MCU with the kind of side characters and the magic characters were big for a little while. We have Blade maybe coming out sometime soon, and once Blade hits, Werewolf by Night, Blade, you might start seeing Tigra. You might start seeing these creatures. The Man Thing, is in continuity. We might still see him. There's some things that are kind of like, you can assume that this is going to happen once they start, going back to once this phase is done. And Tiger's been the comic book world for a very long time, since the 70s. She was at one point called the Cat, from the Claws of the Cat comic book, and they morphed her from that comic where she was a human with powers to what we see now as Tigra, which is like a tiger person. Same thing with powers. Greer Grant. Funny enough, if you watch the Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie, the Tiger was in that movie as the character that was in the Avengers Unlimited cartoon series, and she was like their friend. So it's really funny to see like something as small as that on something like Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie. But again, Tiger's been in the Avengers for years. She's been around. She's fun to look at. I mean, when you see like Cheetah from Wonder Woman 2, like the technology's there, you can do it better. And yeah, she's just been around for a while. Like I'm surprised that people hadn't been buying these.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so again, they're all the creature stuff, and we'll hit more of them over the next few weeks. Giant Size Creatures #1, July of 74, 14 9.8. It's about a $2,000 book in 9.8, a $650 book in 9.6. Werewolf by Night, origin and first appearance of Tigra, formerly Cat, Tony Isabella story, Don Perlin and Vince Coletta art, Don Perlin and Frank Giacola cover. All right, what are we closing with today, Alex? Your favorite?
Yeah, Star Wars, Mon Mothma, who's again just popping up on every of the Disney Plus series. Which, thank you. Give me more Mon Mothma.
Right,
exciting.
Played by Genevieve O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about this character. Now it's gonna hit up again.
Yeah, I mean, this character was in the original trilogy. You saw her in Return of the Jedi. She was with the Rebel Alliance, and she seemed very important. And then all of a sudden, we're seeing Rogue One, and there's Mon Mothma. We're seeing Andor, Mon Mothma. We're seeing her in Ahsoka. This is a character in the Star Wars universe who was huge in the Rebel Alliance, was outspoken. People knew she was in the Rebel Alliance. And then when the Empire fell, she became one of the senators and was like big in reforming the Republic. So, when we're getting a lot of these movies and TV shows that are post Return of the Jedi, I mean, we can't use Leia Organa anymore, unfortunately. But Mon Mothma is a great character, and she's in everything, which is phenomenal. She was probably one of my favorite parts of the Andor series, was watching her, like, essentially, if it was the other way around, she would be the evil person trying to take, do all these like back deal, money in the hand, alleyway deals, but she's doing it because she's doing it for the rebellion for a good purpose. So great character.
Right. All right, cool. So that's Star Wars Return of the Jedi #3, as you pointed out, December of 1983. There were 92 9.8s. 150 to 175, but that was kind of like right around the time that people saw her in the series. So I think you're going to start seeing those up. This is part of the movie adaptation, Archie Goodwin story, Al Williamson and Carlos Garzón art, with a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, by the way, and a very, very rare Canadian price variant that you can't find.
Oof, yeah. Cannot find
I know.
this.
All right. Well, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below. Thank you for joining us in our movie theater. Alex is going to try to find another setting for us that works down the road. This is a lot of fun. I think, just chilling next to each other.
Yeah. That's it. The other way. Yeah. I can't. High five. High five.
All right. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Same bad time.
Same bad channel. Don't forget to pick up the popcorn.